We are live, ladies and gents. Today we have a very nice episode for you, for all the Kaspa army. We're going to tell you exactly what we think was going to happen in 2026, our price predictions, price scenarios, price behavior type of a speculation. By the way, this is not a financial advice. We are just speculators. And yeah, man, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, CM, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're doing fine in the crypto sphere. Write us down. How are you doing? How are you doing this beautiful Wednesday? Where you are right now, and how many degrees? Because I see that CM is already, we're in Spain, it's a bit cold, but I still have put like a little bit of heat. CM, a bit cold, CM.
No, no, man. Just nice and cozy. I like the cozy feeling in the morning. Especially when
Ah,
Bitcoin is a bit hawkish. I'm
a
getting some
bit.
chills. I'm getting chills in my neck.
For
So
sure. Look, what happened yesterday on Bitcoin, man, that was a weird ass action, I'll be honest, The way it behaved showed strength like out of nowhere. So something interesting happened yesterday, okay, CM? Let me just share that a little bit. Let's start, the episode. Before we go to Kaspa, let's talk a little bit
no,
about
no, no, no,
Bitcoin.
no. Let's start with the Kaspa, man. Let's start with the Kaspa.
You want a Kaspa?
And then, yeah, that's the
All
topic of
right.
the video. Then we're
All
gonna go
right.
into the regular bollocks, okay?
All right, man. All right, let's go with the Caspa for sure. I'm gonna roll with you. Look, Caspa price prediction for 2026. You need to start, CM. I have an issue with my
I'm gonna
sharing
start.
over
I'm
here.
gonna start. All right, so Kaspa, how you doing, Mr. Kaspa? Look, for this we gotta go back and we gotta do a log scale. Okay, I think Kaspa price it's this is not price prediction. It's more like price behavior. I think is gonna happen. Look, I think Kaspa is now in a bear market. Okay, from it triggered the bear market in January 2025, and it's probably gonna stay that way for minimum to next mid next year, in my opinion. Minimum next mid next year. I think we're gonna be in a downward trend. Uh, something like this might come down, chop bounce, chop bounce, have a big bounce at some point. Okay, then it will be a good long opportunity, but obviously it's going to be probably just a bear market rally, then another smack in the face, and at some point it's going to bottom out. Okay, so for 2026, I believe Kaspa is going to go way lower than it is now. Okay, you can see this is the downward trend. Okay, this downward trend is kind of, it's this is on the log scale. I will show you the log scale. Predict predict Kaspa will be, price around 1 cent, 1 cent, around the 2027. But I will show you the regular scale. Let's see what the regular scale is more nasty. Okay, now the regular scale is taking you way lower. Okay, obviously it can break the downward trend and expand later, but this trend will take you, in the summer of 2026. It's calling for like half a cent in the summer of 2026. The more you go, the more it's gonna dump. So for me, Kaspa is going to collapse, in my opinion, in the next months and years. And I'm looking for like first of all, for a clear reversal, I need the momentum on the monthly to cross up, and I need the weekly 50-week MA to slope up and the price to be above it. At the moment, it's below the 50-week, and as long as it's below the 50-week, I'm extremely bearish on Kaspa, and I will probably short it through the year. That's what I'm seeing. What do you see?
Yeah, look, Sam, I think you kind of nailed it. Look, first of all, as we said, this is not financial advice. We can't give really predictions. Only what we think from our experience can happen. Now, I will take upon what you said, and I will give. You said 1 cent. I'm going to say anywhere between 1 and 2 cents. I think that's going to be a potential bottom, in my opinion. And I'm going to share why in just 1 second, because in the crypto market, CM, the thing is that you, by the way, this is a monthly chart, just like what you showed over here, and this is the 200. This is the which yeah, this is the 50-week MA over here. So wait a minute, it's a monthly. I think it's the 50. Anyways, so usually, okay, a coin that is actually not a complete scam goes down, around 90% down in the bear market, okay? And 90% actually takes us to 2 cents roughly, okay? Now 1 cent, that would be, a 95%. So I would argue anywhere between, 1 to 2 cents, or 95% down from the top, okay, is a very, likely, outcome within a bear market scenario, right? With when we don't know when exactly that will happen, but when Bitcoin starts its bear market, Kaspa is going to continue down. We think it can bottom at around this area, okay? Anywhere between the 1 and 2 cent, that can be a very logical path for Kaspa to kind of bottom. And if you take it all the way back here, you can see it has an inflection point also at this area where it kind of started back in 2023. So it kind of aligns with all this, with this scenario basically. So I would argue anywhere between 1 and 2 cents, that can be the bottom. Now, I won't be, the kind of person that just waits for that and buy it. I don't suggest for people to just, hey, we got to 2 cents, let's buy it, or hey, we got to 1 cent, let's buy it. Okay, that's not how I would go about it here. The way we should go about it, and that's how we will do it. That's what you said. You're going to wait for some other confirmation, whether for yourself. I don't use that, but the monthly RSI momentum, maybe that would be one of your, indicators to show you maybe it's time to get in, or you will get a big move above the 50-week moving average, for example. That can be a good indication. And also, in our opinion, we will be on this for the next bull market if something happens, right? So if and when that happens, because that happens also eventually again, and we will need to wait and see. Just to make sure people understand, this can take a lot of time, okay? I'm just going to shift for just 1 second again. It can take months and years for a potential bottom to happen, okay? Just imagine a scenario where, as CM said, something like this happens, a bull market rally, goes all the way back down, loses kind of momentum, starts moving, maybe peaks below this, like a capitulation, and and then tries to do something like this at one point. And at some point, sometime in the future, it will rise above, okay? This is very classic, okay? This is a very classic picture of how a market cycle, okay? Let's call it a market cycle, MC, happens, okay? A market cycle like this, very, very classic, very normal. And, you don't need to just think, oh, we got to these levels, let's just, buy here or buy here or buy here. No, you need to wait and see the range that will be formed, and then think about, all right, especially this range was formed, how can I get back on the wagon once it breaks out from a specific range? That's when, the real interest, a lot of buyers and less sellers are going to be in the market, and that's when you want to be kind of engaging in Kaspa. Until then, I don't think there's any reason to engage in Kaspa unless probably shorting it. What do you think, Sia?
Yeah, man, it's cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. It's literally cooked. And what, it just hit 1 cent on the flash crash. Okay,
Yeah.
so
On some exchanges. Yeah, on some
don't forget
exchanges.
that, man. Don't forget that. If the coin already hit 1 cent, or a very low valuation on just a stupid flash crash, imagine what will happen when Bitcoin will be 70 to 80% below its all-time high. 1 cent is nothing, man. It can go to tenth of a cent. It's a
Oh,
crypto.
it
It's a
can.
piece
That's
of
true.
shit, man. All coins are pieces of shit. And if you go back and look on for example, on the 2018 bear, this is the minimum of a powerful of a bear I'm looking for the upcoming bear. for the minimum. I think you're gonna have maybe even worse bear, because we talked about we're gonna have a secular bear.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
we can get a secular bear that will completely cooked all the altcoins. You know, people are not ready, man. People are not ready, not even for the regular bear, they're not ready. So imagine what will happen to these people in a secular bear. But again, it's gonna be very good. You're gonna have amazing. I think Kaspa will do Kaspa will do next year what Bitcoin did in 2018, 2019 run. Remember the fake rally on 2019 from
Yeah.
the 3K to 13K or something?
This.
You know, remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bitcoin had that. So, but first it collapsed a ton. But then you remember that was a beautiful like 3 month major bull run like that.
Yeah.
But it actually was in the midst of a bear market. So it was very
It was
very
in 19. I think it was in the beginning of 19 actually.
yeah. In the end of the bear, you know,
Yeah.
begin of the
Yeah.
bull.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think Kaspa will do something like that. I'll show the audience what I mean, okay? Because most people don't look charts like we do. You know, they don't know what the F is. Most people don't know what is a chart. You know. Anyway, that's that's 2018. Look, that's what happened to Bitcoin in 2018. You had this nasty bear market. Bitcoin collapsed. How much Bitcoin collapsed? You're like 85, I think.
Yeah. 85%.
85, exactly 85. Okay, then it went sideways. Okay, you had a beautiful market bottom here, sideways.
Amazing.
That
Amazing.
that's where you buy. That's where you buy. That's where you long. Now, if Kaspa will do something like that, oh boy, me and Jomo gonna print, and obviously all our members are gonna print with us on this long. But till that happen, there gonna be a lot of shorting opportunity. You're gonna have breakdowns after breakdowns after breakdowns, and we're gonna short it. And if not Kaspa, we're gonna short other coins, but we're definitely gonna short crypto in the bear market. And yeah, that will be the best scenario for Kaspa now. Now, I think, you know, we people need to be open-minded for a situation that you're gonna have a bull run, okay? Then obviously more chop, more scam, but then even lower low, okay, something like that, okay. Now I'm not sure about Bitcoin, but for the shit coins, I will not be surprised to see them going lower and lower and lower and lower, because you know these black swans are coming, Jomo. Black swan, you know, I think MSTR gonna be a black swan for crypto in the coming. They're gonna unwind their coins. You're gonna see all the DATs unwinding their ETH and unwinding their coins. You know, you're gonna see major distributions of mega whales. Okay, it's not even mega whales. These people are like these entities control the Bitcoin circulation now. You know, MicroStrategy. If Mr. Saylor start dumping, and he will, at some point, Mr. Saylor will have to cover his losses.
You'll have to dump.
He
Yeah.
will get cooked. He will cover his leverage. He's gonna get liquidated. It's gonna be nasty. You're gonna get a major black swan connecting to Saylor and connecting to all the ETFs. You know, all the Kathy Woods and all the big scammers. You know, and the Larry Fink and all of them. All of them gonna unwind. It's gonna be a selling party, and Kaspa will not, Kaspa will not explode in this kind of environment, if you know what I mean. It might
I know.
explode to the downside, not to
And
the
you know
upside.
what's funny, CM? I know what people are thinking. They're saying, you know what, Bitcoin in 2017 was a shitcoin all by itself. And, you know, Kaspa is not a shitcoin. That's what they're saying, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying other people, right? The Kaspers say Kaspa is not a shitcoin, blah, blah. I just want to remind you that in December 2017, Bitcoin's market cap was already, I believe, like 180, billion or something like that, okay? So and Kaspa's market cap right now is like 1 or 2 billion. Okay, so people that you need to understand that can very much, if an 85% drop happened on Bitcoin, okay, with almost a 200 billion, market cap. So for something that is much less small market cap, like, Kaspa, it definitely can go 90% down. And look, I'm jumping on a few of these because we have our beautiful friend Roger over here. Shout out to Roger. Look what he's saying, CM. He's saying Kaspa bottom is 5 cents. Yeah, well, it's already not true, Roger, because there was the liquidation week. Okay, so you can't say bottom is 5 cents if it went all the way down to 1 or 2 cents. I don't know. It depends on the exchange, right? So if you want to say that was the bottom, okay, I will agree. But definitely, with the evidence that with all the evidence piling up right now, Roger, you know, how can you say that this is the bottom right now, because we're at 5.1 cents right now, okay, and all the evidence is suggesting that we're going to break below it, okay. So tell me, where's kind of this delusion thinking is coming? I need to understand this. I don't know, Sim, what do you think about this comment, man?
Mind sickness. It's all I have to say, man. The guy have a serious uh, illness, and we actually cure these illnesses in our membership. So, but this guy, I think, is uncurable. This type of comments is like, it's like talking to a wall, man. The guy is delusional. He's in the delusion phase. He's cooked, man. He's so cooked that even if you want to eat the cooked meat, you cannot. It's well done, well done, well done. Cooked. And how does it feel to be down 90% in a bull market on your Kaspa hodlers, and you didn't even trigger a Bitcoin bear? Wait, Roger, wait.
Actually, wait, for real. Roger, you need to understand something. I think Roger's been watching us for a year, CM. And he talked with me on Twitter, and again, shout out to Roger. He's a good person. Okay. Now the thing is that we have been consistently correct in our analysis of markets and Kaspa and so on and so forth. And Roger, you have been consistently wrong in your analysis. Do you think it's time for you to evaluate the way that you're biased a little bit? Because me and CM, we don't have any bias. The reality is we don't really care where Kaspa goes. We just want to make ROIs on our capital. But you, friend, you have a huge bias, and a lot of the viewers over here, you have a huge bias. In order to be successful, this is an advice from me to you guys. If you truly want to be successful, and not just just a loco, just saying stuff. If you really want to be successful with your investing endeavor, you need to remove all your biases, okay, all your thoughts and beliefs about what you're doing, because you are perpetually losing, okay, right now, and flip it 180%. Everything that you thinks the opposite, and you will start noticing that all your belief system that you curved, and that is very normal for all the newbies in the market. Even a newbie can be 6 years in the market and still be a newbie because he never learned how to be a professional thinker, okay. Think differently, and you will definitely, okay, have better success. And more than that, if you want help in thinking differently, like real help, because I can see that just by watching us on YouTube doesn't help everyone, we invite you to come and join our membership, because that's where you're going to get us smacking all our information on a daily basis into your veins, and that's how you become successful faster. We just shorten that learning curve all that faster. And by the way, yeah, man, I mean, see it. I'm just gonna finish what Roger is saying over here. He's saying, don't forget Kaspa's always the most liquid exchange. By the way, it's not the most liquid. Okay, there's like other exchanges that are more liquid. You can go check it on CoinMarketCap. So even that, it went to 4.7 cents. So even that, if you can say that was a better bottom than 5, but it's going to go lower. All right, Roger, it's just going to go lower, my friend. I'm sorry. All right, so we have Mr. Marianne Cornell saying, will be amazing opportunity, to buy Kaspa at like 1 or 2 cents. To see him again with that mentality of, we explain this. It's not an opportunity until you have confirmation. CM, what do you have to say to these people?
Depend. If the guy is an investor, and it
He's
could
not,
be.
though.
It could
He's
be.
not an investor, though.
If he is a trader, it can be an opportunity to buy breakouts of the bottom. Okay, for example.
Okay, with confirmation, for sure.
Depends. Depends what he's talking about. Though. He can be referring to now buying opportunity. These people. They are delusional, like,
Yeah.
so, it's okay. Don't, you have a lot of comments in YouTube. Most of them are, bunch of bollocks.
Moroccan Kaito saying Crypto Galaxy said Kaspa can do an easy 100x during an alt season. I was a baboon and believed it. Thankfully, I panic sold in 2024. Well, way to go. At least you have your common sense in you, Mr. Moroccan
Probably,
Kaito.
probably sold after he watched one of my videos in 2024.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably, man.
Or one of our lives over there. CG is a clown for sure. One of the biggest clowns over there. Mr. Gormick. Casper holders are either clowns or baboons. It's binomial, but I don't think they can comprehend what that means for sure. Okay, we're saying they have a huge bias, and that's what we're trying to say over here. Mr. Phoenix is saying, "Good night, guys." Are you from Australia or from the States, Phoenix? Let us know. Good night, guys. Thanks for sharing love insights. You're really helpful. Cheers, Mr. Phoenix. Mr. Grogger and cheers, lads. Look, I think it's okay now to go a little bit on the Bitcoin thing that I wanted to share earlier, CM, that you wanted to kind of wait. So just a small thing for our audience, and I'm not going to give everything, because if you want all the spiel, you must come, and join the membership, because that's where we can, give all our advices for all our members, and we do that on a daily basis, okay? And all our trades are there for sure. So look, this is on Bitstamp, and look, this is ugly, okay? This week over here, this is a very ugly week. Actually, you can see that usually it happens in places that are just going to continue down afterwards, okay? These types of weeks are not good. Now, can it be a short-term bad action? For sure, but what happened, let's say here, was just short-term, then went higher. I would say it's not that, good news, but, okay. But right now, we're actually just hovering above the 200-day moving average. We had this fake out. We have so many clues. CM, I'm just looking at, what happened yesterday, and I was surprised. Initially, it went down. Then it went all the way up. I went to sleep roughly at these prices, and I woke up to see that it went all the way back down and closed down to the day at 108. Let's take a look at the hourly chart to see how this, panned out. Look, we had this moon up and then a slow bleed kind of down. I'm not liking this, CM, and this, comes to, maybe, just maybe, CM, you said about it yesterday, people are waiting for gold to kind of potentially peak and move rotation. So potentially all these people, or people that were caught in this narrative where gold was selling yesterday, okay? And they were like, oh, gold is selling. That means Bitcoin is going to go up. So I'm going to just buy Bitcoin. And they got trapped over here. And now they're trapped with their longs, and potentially they're going to be liquidated soon. I mean, that's a possible explanation for that odd action we saw yesterday, because I was like, how is this even getting a little bit of love, because it was looking very weak. What do you think?
Oh yeah, very, very pump and dumpy distribution type of behavior.
Yeah, very
Trap.
much.
People are delusional. They're calling for like Bitcoin to moon. Me, I'm extremely bearish on Bitcoin. As long as it's below 120K, I'm extremely bearish on Bitcoin. Even 126, 127, extremely bearish on Bitcoin. This looks to me like a mega top is forming, and people are not ready for the rug pull. The rug pull, that the little flash crash that Bitcoin had, it's nothing to what's coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna see weeks that Bitcoin is dumping 30% in a week. We're gonna see that. We saw it in 2022. We're gonna see that again. Heck, we might even see a 50% collapse on a black swan. In 1 week. We saw that as well. Okay, people are not ready. Oh boy, I'm so ready for the bear, man. I'm so waiting for the bear, man. Like, unbelievable. But I think we're gonna have maybe a dump, a bounce from around 100K. Some kind of a bounce. Before they giving up. Maybe again, if we're lucky, we get a nice little juicy bounce from 100K to maybe 120 for like a week, couple of weeks after the rate cuts. Like on oh yeah, rate cuts. Oh yeah. Fake phony bounce. Last altcoin run, last altcoin bull. Maybe we get some juicy one. Who knows? I'm prepared for everything. Okay. Once this thing top out, it's over, man. And
See,
lower high.
look, I agree so much that you like to come across and say, when you're bearish, when you're bullish, and I usually am more reserved in that stance where I'm just letting the market kind of dictate. And I don't think until now in any live I just said, I just agree with you 100% about whether I think this is a top or not, because there were multiple times you kind of became bearish, not top, but you can become bearish, bullish, and because you like to be out there and more vocal. But with the current action that we have been seeing, I have a high probability. In my opinion, this is a high probability topping phase and distribution. We have been saying this for a couple of weeks now, but the longer this is prolonged and the more of the selling action that I'm seeing, okay, the more distribution type days, distribution type, signals, candles, I'm just looking at something that screams to me that it wants to top and has no momentum to it, man. This is the first time I'm saying, on live action that I'm bearish. I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now and on the market, man. And
That's a very
first,
bearish price action. Very bearish.
very bearish price action. I haven't seen this type of bearish. We have seen, actions that didn't align with what we thought. They looked kind of odd, and we were protective. But this is the first time that everything is aligning towards topping action. Okay, now anything can happen. The market can change, and if it will change, we will change and update our views on it. But right now, this is what we're seeing. Anyway, Sam, I need to bounce. I have something else I need to do in a couple of minutes. Okay, one more question. Holistic Harmony is asking one more question about the bootcamp. Where are you going to teach today? Well, it's not today. Okay, we postponed it to next week because of the AWS issues and the Zoom issues. A couple of platforms that we use for all our webinars and bootcamps have issues because of the AWS shutdown that happened. And we don't want to risk that in the middle it will shut down again. So we postponed it to next week. Okay, so next week, and for everyone that secured, we're going to share it on the WAP. On what platform we're going to use. We're going to use the one that is less risky at that time. Okay, right now all of them are risky, so that's why we postponed it. But if you didn't secure your spot, you can still secure it until next week. Okay, but we don't have a lot of seats left. Okay, so what you want to do is use the Endgame coupon code, 25% coupon code, and scan the QR code and go check that out for next week. This is going to be a beautiful boot camp, CM. We're going to teach people exactly. Look, this is what we do for a living, okay? And coming to the bootcamp, you'll learn how we think, how we operate. You won't be surprised anymore, like all of you used to be surprised all the time with the action. How come that we are right and most people that come to our lives are wrong all the time? Okay, we're going to teach that. And also, we're going to have a 1 hour live trading session where we're going to share all our coming trades, whether they are to the long side or even the short side. We're going to discuss that. So everything that looks weak, we're going to share everything, all of our mega banger trades that to come from that moment on. We're going to share that. Okay, so Holistic Harmony, what you need to do if you didn't secure a spot is secure a spot now, because it's happening next Wednesday, okay, October 29th. And if you have, just wait for a message on the WAP for us to kind of update about which platform we're going to use exactly with the least downtime risk, okay, because we want to minimize that for sure. That's not something on us, it's something on AWS, it's on the services, it's on the tech side, not something that we can control. Okay, anyways, everyone, Sim, we're going to continue or we're done? All right, everyone, thank you very much for coming and staying tuned with us. Appreciate you coming to our show. Next time, come with more vibes, come with more questions. We love you guys. Until next